government, you can dream, you can have, but without taking risk assessment, you do it today and then you add up more maintenance costs in the future. So risk assessment is first. Now, the players on board, the team that is going to do the job itself, are we looking at political side people or are we looking at experts? Experts who apply their SOPs, experts who apply safety measures before, during, and after that execution of the job. That is what the government had to do, than to be bringing people that, oh, this is a party member, this is a relative, this is who we have, let's use him.
The point is that I'm even not worried if the person is a party person,
and experts.
The person is a family, somebody, and has the know-how.
Yes, of course.
I don't have a problem.
That is the issue.
We want to see this country.
That is the issue.
But we don't put pegs in square holes.
And we shouldn't forget the rain. This is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, they were.
We are now meeting the second half. This is 2nd July. We are now meeting the second half.
Even the 2nd July have told us we're going to have some rain.
Exactly. The weather this morning told us what we should prepare for. So government as a whole had to make sure they do proper supervision to all the institutions in charge.
Proper supervision for all the institutions in charge and make sure that they coordinated efforts. You see, let's sit at the point. Ghanaian leaders, service. We should get out of this selfishness and provide service. If we are honest, we'll turn this country around. Look, we can have all the wealth beneath the sea, beneath the earth, the oil in our seas, the gold in our soil, the diamonds, the lithium, the gold. We have everything that we need to succeed. But we are not being we become indisciplined, we become selfish, we are not honest. We are full of corrupt minds. We need to deal with this mindset. We need to deal with it. It might be hard to take, but we need to tell ourselves the truth. We need to say to ourselves, we've lost that patriotic aspect of the Ghanaian. There's so much indiscipline to the point that what footprint are we leaving for the next generation? When people see you, how do they see you? When you are leaving, what do people say behind you when you are no more? When they see you coming, what do they think? When you are walking away, what are the things that go through their head? I did give you an account this morning that if you read the book of 2 Kings, chapter 3, the verse 6 to 27, like I said, it forms a powerful alliance and match. God is not merely interested in blessing our plans. He desires to guide our purpose. Very, very importantly, as a nation, Thanksgiving is gone. But Thanksgiving without us being disciplined, without changing our ways, will be in square one. Forget it. I have somebody who say, forget it. Yeah, we just forget it. But we should make up our mind, because a nation's transformation does not begin with new roads. It doesn't begin with modern buildings. It doesn't begin with economic policies. It begins with a transformed heart and renewed values. This is how a nation is transformed. Ghana we desire cannot be built by government alone. It has to be built by citizens who choose integrity over corruption. We have to have people who give service over selfishness. Not for their gain, but for the holistic of everybody. Excellence over mediocrity. These are the things we need to be looking at. Unity over division. These are the things we should be looking at. We need to reset our values. Is to return to the principle that once defined our nation. What defined Ghana? Honesty, discipline, patriotism, respect for authority, hard work, accountability, and love for one another. When you go to the communities, you see hedges being built, you see wire meso. I can see what is happening in that nurse house. So hardly would you say, Moko Yenga, hello Moko baby. Hardly would you see that. And we are building walls. So I don't know what pertains in that person's home. We've lost the values. And I like the theme for this year, National Prayer and Thanksgiving, resetting our values and building the Ghana we want. So let's return back to the principles that once defined us as a nation. Ghana is a hospitable country. Our hospitality is number one, top notch enough. We love people because we love one another. The honesty, the discipline, that when you're going to sit in a bus and elderly join, you need to leave the seat for the elderly to sit. Selfishness is killing us. We may face many challenges as a country. Corruption, environmental degradation, indiscipline. These are the things. Ghana, we are facing these challenges. Corruption, environmental degradation, galamsey everywhere, indiscipline, political polarization, unemployment, poor sanitation. Whilst policies and investment are necessary, lasting change requires a change in the mindset. We need to change our mindset. Laws can regulate behavior, but values shape character. When values are restored, families become stronger, communities become safer, institutions become more trustworthy, and the nation becomes more resilient. Mindset. Can I give my final question before you leave me?
I wish I want to appeal, not a wish, I want to appeal to all those in charge of institutions watching us right now. There are a lot. I could see you have about 1,000 questions to do, but for the sake of your productive time, you instead come and sponsor the show.
Yeah, get me sponsors, and then we need, because as there are people so excited about the rains, the floods, in a sense that it has come to expose the filthiness of us as a Ghanaian people. We are very filthy.
Yeah.
Look, I was going to Abidjan. Mm-hmm. Then by the time I left Sampa. Mm-hmm. I went through the Bono area. Yeah. I decided to go by road.
Okay.
So it's a very short road. Yeah. Went through Bono to Abidjan is very close. So I went through the border town. By the time I got to a Nije Crow, there's a small town that will link you to Abidjan. Yeah. I think it's about 400 CFA. From there, it's like picking an STC to the place. And our buses are flowing. I saw fields. Mm-hmm. I asked myself a question. Africa, what is wrong with us? Why?
We have to stop being spectators and then be citizens. And then we also had to move with this visionary mindset and move the country forward instead of, always relying on people who cannot do the job. As I said, value for money. When an investor will come to, no investor will come with this current state of our economy. The investors will come, but they had to go back. They will come, but they will go back because they had to do their checks. I can tell you, investors do their search. They take 1, 2, 3 months, sometimes a year, to check and know much about the country where they are going to invest before they go. Now, we having sanitation issue, we having power issue, we have a whole lot of issues. So am I going to add up to get my profit, or I'm going to add up to lose? That's what the investor looks at. So at a country, as a nation, we need to change and reset our mindset.
Reset our mindset. That brings me to my final question with Nanaya Abrampa. He's a broadcaster, a broadcast journalist, is also a port assistant and a maritime researcher. Hanging out with him this morning. should Ghana understand about? What should Ghana understand about the link between weather, ports, commerce, and national economic growth?
Okay, Ghana should understand that the weather, it's something they cannot predict. Machines can fail. They will tell you it will fall in the morning before you realize it's falling in the evening. They are machines.
And there should be consistency.
So we have to prepare and wait for it. Talking about technology taking over, how is our network system, how it's our road network system, how it's our sensitization programs to help the customer understand the change. Change is something people don't like. But as a business mind person,
I just say that laws control behavior.
Yeah.
But the point of change is from you.
yes, of course.
We need to change.
Yeah. When I was coming, I was watching and I heard you saying, somebody say, assembly there, obeka, yabete, but yemfa. That mindset had to go off our mind so that we can focus for the betterment of this nation, the progress of this nation. So Ghana should understand that this has come to stay, even with this little one. And you see, there was an observation we all put at the blind side of us when it comes to safety. Now, with the weather or the change of this weather, okay, fine, it's a climate change. Who witnessed a harmattan from the October till the February second week?
Only those of us who went to the north.
Good. And
Few places.
yes, at this coastal belt.
The coastal, there was no, you couldn't.
Ending of November or first week of December, you see a fever, a flavor, a sign of this harmattan, and then getting to January, second week of February, then it disappears, and then the heat take over. But 2025 November to 2026 2nd July, who witnessed harmattan at the coastal belt? No, it was a sign. And signs to tell you what is coming is huge and dangerous.
And even that, when we started having the cold and the heat waves across Europe and then America, that tells us we should prepare ourselves. If you should ask me one thing, I think that first we need to invest in a climate resilient infrastructure. That's the first thing we need to do. We need to access roads. The road to the port needs to be accessible.
Yeah.
It's one of the things. Particularly the corridors leading to the Ghana ports, the harbors, the authorities, facilities at the Tema and Takoradi, all these places we should be able to look at. We must be upgraded with improved drainage system. When I had the figures that has been World Bank gave us Massa.
Billions of dollars. Anyway.
We must upgrade with improved drainage system. There's technology we can use. You see, I was looking at, okay, we want to do all year round. It's not about time we do piping where we collect rains, even from the south, pump to a pond that goes to the northern town. So we're allowing the water to just come and pass.
Is there a problem in this country?
We know
we hate to take the risk in what we call piloting.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We
hate to take the risk because politically we'll be hit with the opposition, religiously we'll be hit by the anti-whatever denomination, and this thing had to stop.
Yeah.
We had to stop. We pilot, we make amends during the piloting, and then we can come into consideration to at least implement something. But we are afraid to do so.
So first, government must invest in climate resilient infrastructure.
Yeah.
Access roads to the ports, particularly corridors leading to the Ghana Ports and Harbors Authority. Facilities in Tema and Takoradi must be upgraded with improved drainage systems. Elevate and also elevate road sections when necessary. And also regular distilling of our storm drains. It shouldn't be just the storm drain beneath, it has to be distilled. Keep cargo moving begins with what? Ensuring the roads remain more passable. Look at the bad roads there. We need to strengthen the coordination between the emergency response team Agencies such as GAPOA, road authorities, emergency services, local assemblies, the Ghana Meteorological Agencies, the freight operators should work from a coordinated contingency plan during periods of heavy rainfall, real-time weather alerts, as well as traffic updates and alternative routing can significantly reduce delays at the port. Because you hear people crying, and Mr. L, no, Moses, we have to look at accelerating digitization and logistics point for us as a nation. Let's recycle those waters. Expanding electronic cargo clearance. Appointment system for trucks and real-time cargo tracking will reduce unnecessary congestion around the ports. When documentation and schedulings are streamlined, businesses can recover more quickly, even when the weather disrupts operations. Those are the things we have to be looking at. And I did ask you a final question that should Ghana, I mean, we should look at it, we should link up all this. I think it's been, I mean, many people think flooding is only a local inconvenience, but it has a national economic consequence.
Oh yes, of course. And I heard a friend, a colleague saying the government should come as early as possible to declare this as a state of emergency. And I say, hey, we've not gotten there yet.
No, like I just said,
we've not gotten there yet.
Many people think flooding is only a local inconvenience, but it's a national economic consequence.
Yes.
Well, our ports are the gateway to Ghana's economy. Most of the goods we import, the food, the medicines, the fuel, machineries, raw materials, and many of the products we export pass through them. If heavy rains disrupt access to the port, supply chain slows down. Businesses incur additional costs.
Exactly.
Deliveries are delayed. Consumers may ultimately pay higher for higher prices for the products. And then obviously
which basically practically from August we'll witness it.
We'll witness a lot.
From August, from next month we'll witness increase of price of all items.
So it means that, I mean, this conversation we are having means that there is no longer just an environmental issue.
No.
It is also an economic and developmental issue. Climate resilience must therefore become part of our national economic strategy.
Exactly.
If Ghana wants to strengthen its position as a regional trade and logistic hub, we must invest in resilient infrastructure, effective urban planning, and proactive climate adaptation. Every city invests in preventing flood-related disruption helps protect jobs. It supports businesses, attract investment, and overall, what does it do? Sustain economic growth. These are the conversations we had this morning. When our ports move efficiently, what happens? Commerce thrive. When commerce thrive, what happens? Businesses grow. Jobs are created. The entire nation benefits. So protecting our ports is very key. We have to protect our port from the impact of the extreme weather, not just about safeguarding infrastructure, it's about safeguarding Ghana's economic future. We depend on the port too. It's a concept in the Injai, and yes,
I like that. The big concept. Oh my God!
And that's how we wrap up. You have something you want to tell them?
Yes, and this one had to do with a general sensitization during this weather condition. 80% of the port is a pedestrian-free area. You can't walk around anyhow. But in case you find yourself anywhere that you had to walk, don't put a polythene on your head. Even when you're using an umbrella, and maybe the wind tries taking it away, don't chase it. Leave it to go and find a safer place to stand. Being at the bus stop, anywhere you find yourself walking, don't chase your umbrella when the wind is taking it away. Stay safe.
All right, Nanaya Abrampa, I did mention his credentials as a broadcast journalist, He's also a port operations assistant, a maritime researcher. Joining me this morning to hang out with me this morning on the morning focus. It's been a wonderful time with him. We look forward to having him more to run a series on every Thursday to find out what is it about the ports, what is freight, what is the FOB, what is it you want to know. Today, at least we've learned something about demurrage, we've learned something about rent, we've learned something about the roads linking to the ports, how efficient it has to be to allow free movement, not delays at the ports. It make clearing becomes easy, where people will not delay you just because if you want to pass by, the system will not allow you. It's the system at the port. And then I love it. I think we'll get all the systems in all other areas where the human face will be just a few. It will help us to grow this nation. Once again, MBN will want to thank you for joining us this morning, hanging out with me, and we look forward to seeing you more. And then go get me the business.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. So we're going for a break. When we return, I'll read a few messages that are coming. I'll go to the phone line, do my birthdays, and then we'll wrap up for today's edition, the Thursday's edition of the Morning Focus. Please don't go away.